This week, I'm going to be talking to the single men out there, not the ones who are getting divorced, those who are on the verge of divorce, or those who are still happily married. I am talking to those men who are single. And I want to help you be able to find a better connection with women. And we're going to be talking about what you need, how you need to actually treat women this week on episode number 156 of The Relaxed Male.
This is The Relaxed Male, a show that comes to you each week helping men to remove the nice guy from their life so they can actually live their life on their terms. Join the host, certified coach Brian Goodwin, as he helps men step out of their heads and become free from the thoughts that bind them.
Hey man, hello and welcome to Relaxed Male. All right, so this week got a little thing. We're going a little bit different. I am not addressing the married guys right now. I'm not addressing the divorced men this week. Actually, I'm looking at you single dudes this week, and more specifically, what you single dudes really need to stop freaking doing. All right, because I'm going to get into it. I'm going to come to show you where the origins of this whole episode came from, and it's really, guys, we've got to get our act together. All right, we have been these weak, pansy ass men way too damn long. We've got to start stepping up and start having a little bit more discipline in our lives. But before we get started with that, I want to say, guys, thank you for sharing this podcast out time and time and time again, because our numbers keep growing. We keep expanding. We keep becoming a better and better show and a better community thanks to that. And so we're up and to the right, as they say on the stats. We keep going up, and we keep having more and more people show up. We keep getting more and more downloads. This is amazing. This is telling me that you guys are sharing this podcast out to just about anybody and everybody that you can think of. And that is absolutely amazing. So, guys, thank you. If you're new to the show, hello, welcome. This is The Relaxed Male. This is a show where I actually help you men get rid of the nice guy in your life. Now you're like, well, why? Do I want to be a jerk? It's like, no, you don't want to be a jerk, but you don't want to be a nice guy either. Nice guys are essentially jerks by another name. Okay. You can go to Reddit. There's a nice guy subreddit out there, and it just shows you exactly why nice guys suck. All right. I want the best out of all the men who listen to the show. I want the best for all the men who are struggling through life, trying to figure out how do you find the fulfillment? Because that's what I want you to do. I want you to find a rich, fulfilling, profitable, amazing life with a woman by your side and kids that look up to you, and you can be happy. You can be fulfilled. You can find joy in no matter what the circumstances are. And that's what we work on. That's where I put plant my proverbial flag is I want to make sure that you can have the fulfillment and joy that you want. Many of the things that so many men struggle with, especially when you're single, is trying to get a woman in your life. And especially if you are running around being a nice guy, you think you're just being the sweetest, most awesomest dude ever to walk the face of the earth. And what happens every single time you're nice? Yeah, friend zone. You get friend zoned. You get friend zoned all the time. Nothing but friends. I used to do the same thing. I would talk to some of the most beautiful women I knew in Amarillo. And lo and behold, I'd get to try to get closer to him and closer to him. And I would get, I just see you as a friend. You're just too nice for me. Blah, 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 blah. And these are things that nice guys hear over and over again. Oh, you're just too nice for me. I see you as a friend. I couldn't, you don't want to have me as a girlfriend. They come up with all these excuses as to why to let us down. Well, these These are warning signs saying that, yeah, you're a nice guy. And nice guys do some really dumb crap. And guys, I'm going to fix to jump into a story here. So if you've got smaller kids, you probably want to either hold off on talking about sharing this out or listening to this where they're not around, or you may wind up having some really awkward conversations. All right, so be warned. But these days, I hear a lot of women complain about this, a lot of what guys do. And now I'll have my theories on it, and I'm going to get into the theories as to why I think men do what they do. But let me set the whole picture up. This last Thanksgiving Day, as a matter of fact, I got up, I'd made some coffee. I was sitting down, having some coffee with my mom, gone over to mom's house to have Thanksgiving. And she's making breakfast and stuff and doing what moms do. And she gets a text from a dude. I knew that she'd been doing some online dating and stuff, and I was like, so that must be one of your suitors. And she kind of chuckled. She's like, yeah, I've been talking to him for several months, and a really nice guy, and had a picture of him on, apparently he had sent her a picture of him and I guess his kids. I'm assuming they're kids he's kidnapped somebody and is using them as his kids, something. Anyhow, because I don't know about him. I don't know where the kid come from, if it's his or whose or what's, but anyhow. And so mom shows me this picture of a fairly nice looking guy. I mean, he's your average nice looking guy. Nothing extraordinary. I mean, he's not Rock Hudson or anything like that. He's just kind of a nice looking dude. Your average, kind of average looking dude, really. And I'm looking at it, I was like, oh, okay. And about that time, another picture pops up. And it's a picture of his little Brad, because the dude's name's Brad. Picture of his little Brad. And it's like, really, dude. And so I said, hold up, Mom, hold up. I got to do something here. And so I recorded a video, and I essentially said, hey, Brad, all right, dude. I know you're wanting to, you're proud of your pee-pee, but you have got to, men, you've got to stop doing that. Dude, you're not impressing anybody. To give you an honest to God assessment, women absolutely detest it when you do that. So you're shooting yourself in the foot every time you decide, hey, I got a boner, I'm going to take a picture of it and send it to that girl. No. Stop it, man. Stop it. And that's exactly what I told him, sent it over to him. And I don't know if mom ever heard back from him again or what, because he got to realize that, wait a minute. Other people look at the phone other than just the woman he was hoping to get into bed with. And that is the main point, guys. We have lost the ability to be good. Not nice, but be good. Sitting there showing off your hard-ass dong to a woman who you've not ever actually seen face-to-face? No. The only time you really actually need to be showing that part, taking a picture of it and showing it, is if she actually writes it out and says, hey, I would like to see your winky. No. Other than that, you should don't be even thinking that she cares to see it. Because honestly, guys, I'm serious. Ask any woman, do they like to see random dick pics? You're going to hear them say no. You're going to hear them say, God, no, I hate that. I didn't ask to see that part of you. Yeah, you yourself may want to have her send you a shot of her crotch or a shot of her boobs. But dude, this is why nice guys get themselves in trouble, because they think that's exactly how you get people to do stuff for you. I'm going to take a picture of my crotch. There we go. Send it to them and watch. They're going to send it one back. Wait a minute. They didn't send one back. They ghosted me. Oh, that freaking bitch. And you go off on these little tangents and you start really hating that woman because you gave her a dick pic. And she didn't reciprocate by giving you a shot of her crotch. That is where we get our happy butts into so much trouble. Guys, stop with the random dick pic shots. Because after that, me and my mom had this really weird, uncomfortable conversation about how many times she gets unsolicited dick pics. And it's one of those things where you scratch your head and go, where did we go wrong? And I've got a theory as to why this has gone, where this has come from. And that is because women actually don't hold men to higher standards anymore. Men don't hold themselves to higher standards, and women don't hold men to higher standards. You hold a man to a higher standard, he's going to rise to that occasion. So you have a guy who shows up at your door, and he's just in a t-shirt and some shorts and flip flops, and it's like, hey, baby, you want to go out and go hops in the Corvette and zips off down there and holds as he's driving with his hand on top of his head because he didn't want his rug to fly off. Now you can look casual. You can show up casual, but show the woman that you're interested in a little bit of respect is what I really want to make sure that I point to. Because when you can show the woman in your life a little bit of respect, you're going to get more of the actual real in-person views of her crotch than you ever thought. Now, I'm not saying you be the nice guy type of nice. You don't try to manipulate her into getting what you want. That's never going to work because women have a sixth sense on when they're being manipulated. They may go along with it at first, but it doesn't take long before they get really freaking sick and tired of it. And they just say, screw you. And they will not tolerate any of the covert contracts that you try to set. Now, if you're not familiar with Robert Glover's work, No More Mr. Nice Guy, he talks about covert contracts. And that's what the whole, I'm going to take a picture of my hard weenie, and then I'm going to send it to her. Because then she'll be so turned on, she can't help it but take a picture of her crotch and send it back to me. And then you get really angry because she doesn't. Or she tells you off and says, screw you, I don't care to see you anymore. Yada, yada, yada. And send it. And that covert contract isn't, the reason why it's called a covert contract is because you don't share that with the other party. I'm going to clean the house. I'm going to do the dishes. I'm going to scrub the bathtub. I'm going to get everything around the bathtub set up and make it real nice and romantic and get it all set up so that when she comes home from a hard day's work, her clothes will instantly fall off and she's just going to jump my bones. Dude, I hate to tell you that covert contract isn't going to work. You actually have to face the scariest part out of all of this. And that really scary part is you actually have to let them know what the contract is and be okay with them having their own emotional reactions to it. And that is what scares the nice guy the most, is they actually are wanting to have a reaction from somebody, but then don't want to face the reactions that come from their actions. Yeah, you're more than likely going to be shot down if you just come out of nowhere and go, hey, let's get naked and let's go boink. Oh, I'm really tired. Let's try it later. The fact that you're going to have your own emotional responses to what she said, and you're going to have your own thoughts about what she said. This is where the nice guy gets himself into trouble. And so it's easier just to go off, pull your shorts back, take a picture of your crotch, send it over to her, instead of actually having to do the work of having a connection, building that connection, building what needs to get done to make a woman feel safe enough around you so that she actually does want to get naked in front of you. Getting undressed is a very vulnerable act for a woman. And when she wants to take her clothes off for you, she's actually saying, I trust you completely right now, because a lot of things could happen and a lot of things could go bad. And most women do not feel the most confident with their bodies because men suffer from the sin of lust. Women suffer from the sin of comparison. They are always looking at the other woman going, well, is she prettier? Is she not prettier? Is she fatter? Is she skinnier? She's whatever. She's this, she's that, yada, yada, yada. Yeah, she's got bigger boobs. She's got a rounder butt. Looks at everything. She makes better money. She makes less money, everything. I mean, even minuscule stuff. Her purse is nicer. Her purse is worse or rattier. All this weird stuff that men, us guys normally don't ever look at. But women do. And when they get undressed, they are literally fully exposed to any type of criticism you could give her. Why do you have that mole on the side? She may be very sensitive about that mole. She may have a scar on the side of her body from something that happened when she was a kid. She may have stretch marks because she's had a child. All these different types of imperfections bother women. So to have a woman to be able to undress in front of you or to allow you to undress her is one of the greatest gifts that she can give a guy, because she's saying, I trust you. I am going to be literally naked in front of you. But when you are being a nice guy, you're not building that sense of trust. It takes work. It takes your own thought work about how a woman reacts to something to determine, hey, this is why this is going to work, or this is why this isn't going to work. You have to be able to talk to her, let the woman have her own reactions. Let her have her own decisions, have her own experiences to the thoughts that she has. And be okay with her being mad. Be okay with her being in any other type of emotional situation that makes you feel absolutely unbearably uncomfortable, which is any type of discomfort. For a nice guy, we cannot stand discomfort. And I say we because I am a recovering nice guy. A lot of these tricks, I'm glad I didn't have a cell phone back whenever I was first dating. Especially the smartphones, because you know what? I would be in all sorts of trouble with that damn thing. There'd be way too many people out there being able to laugh at the size and the shape and the way my pecker looks, because I would have been pulling the same dumb stuff that the guys today are pulling. Now, like I said, my theory as to why this happens is, one, mainly because women don't hold men to higher standards. The other thing is that dating apps are not actually dating apps. They're hookup apps. And so guys go on there thinking that I can just find an easy woman and be able to go hit them up, say, hey, let's meet up tonight. And poof, voila, girl comes over, she slobbers on your dick for a little bit, and off she goes. And sadly, girls think that's what dating apps are supposed to be. You just go over, you slobber on a guy's groin for a little bit, and off you go. And they wonder why they can't find a quality man, because they don't build a boundary, set up a boundary saying, no, dude. First off, if you want to be able to have access to all this, or you want me to have access, you want me to play around with with mini you, we're going to have to do some stuff first. And that's called dating, and actually dating, and not just kind of, oh, hey, let's go to the movie. Okay. Let's go to the restaurant. Okay. There we go. I spent $50 on you. Come on, let's get naked. No, women, if you're listening to this, start talking to your girlfriends about this. Start talking to them about how you treat men. Now, I know it sounds really weird. It's like, well, why don't we have to treat men this particular way? Because they should be treating us better. I'm getting to that. It actually will happen. And the only reason why I'm pointing to the women is because men, y'all can do it. And I'm fixing to address the men's side of this. But right now, I just want to talk to the women's side. The few women that do actually listen to this, because I have, from what I've been able to gather, probably about 8, 9, 10 women who actually are listening to this. Women, when it comes to dating men, hold them to a standard. If they show up in the same type of clothes that they normally show up in, tell them to step it up. Step up their game. Just one step. If they're used to wearing, like basketball shorts and a tank top and a hat and a cap and tennis shoes, tell them, challenge them to step their dressing up game, their style game one step. Instead of basketball shorts, maybe cargo shorts. All right. Instead of flip flops, tennis shoes. Instead of a tank top, a polo shirt. Instead of a baseball cap, combed hair, clean shaven, cologne, antiperspirant, deodorant, step it up. You don't have to show up in black tie and tails. Just show up just a half step better. Not even a full step better. If you're used to, and men, this helps you out also. And I'm going to talk about uniforms here probably in the next 3 weeks. But when it comes to dressing, dress up better. Show your best side to the woman. And that doesn't mean the side that's hidden in the jeans either. Show her that you can be a human who is not a scuzz bum. All right. When you can show up and you can actually have deep conversations with a woman, you're going to have a better chance of actually sleeping with her, man. This is the key to dating and marriage that so many of us men lose out on. All right. Because we want to tell ourselves the easy stuff. Men, we want to take that easy route almost every dang time. And it is so sad when you finally break free from taking the easy road and you start adding a little discipline and a little bit of actual action to what's going on in the world, and especially in your world. If you stop watching porn, yeah, I'm going to dog on porn. And this is coming from a guy who, until recently, had a very extensive porn collection on his computer. And just about 3 weeks ago, I deleted 90% of it. You notice I didn't say I deleted it all, because there is something about porn that is, I'm not going to call it addictive, but you will definitely form a habit that will interfere with your life. And for many people, that is an addiction. If you have to watch porn to get yourself aroused, that's a problem. If you have to watch porn to even be able to sleep with your wife, that is a problem. If you have to watch porn to get yourself aroused to be with your girlfriend, that is a serious, serious problem. And I actually saw a For Hims commercial where millennials, all right, these are the dudes who are my son's age. These are kids that are 20 years younger than I am, who are there's a commercial for Cialis from For Hims. That is a problem. That is porn-induced erectile dysfunction. And I forget what the actual term is, but they've actually got a term for it, where guys have watched, from millennials and younger, have watched so much porn that they actually can't get it up unless they are watching porn. They have programmed their penises to only operate when they sit down in front of a computer and turn the screen on and go to Pornhub. How sad is that? So if they want to be able to go look at a girl, be with a girl, they have to pop a Cialis and hope that things work out right. They can get just enough of a mental get out of their heads just long enough to where they can actually be with their girl. Dude, if you're having erectile dysfunction and you're a millennial, if you're having a erectile dysfunction and you're a Gen Zer, want to know how to actually stop having to take Cialis or Viagra or any of those other types of ED pills, and you want to have an erection that is just a cat couldn't even scratch it, get off of porn. Get off of porn. Stop looking at porn. Stop flogging the dolphin on top of that. Don't whack it. Just let it go. You're going to find yourself in all sorts of grumpiness for a long bit. And you're thinking, and I used to use the same excuse, and this is why I used to look at porn. Well, at least somebody, I'm married. How am I supposed to have sex? I wanted to look at people who were just to verify that there are people who are still having sex out there. Because there for a while, my marriage was a very sexless marriage. We may have sex once every, 9 months to a year. And that went on for about 6 years. It was a really tough time. And all of it was dependent upon me, believe it or not. I wanted to try to throw the excuse as why my marriage was such a sexless marriage on my wife. And I tried so much to convince myself that actually there for a little while I did. As a matter of fact, I went so far as to actually come up with the theory that women actually don't like sex. I may have mentioned that before several times on this podcast, that women don't like sex, and they will tolerate sex on three different types of conditions. They're looking for a man. They're trying to keep their man. They're looking for kids. They're wanting kids. And all reality, that's the times that is still semi-true. But the reason why I'm saying it's semi-true is because that is the only time that they will have sex with a nice guy. When they're looking for a guy, they decide, you know what, I need to get married. I'll just they'll settle. All right. Settle with the creepy nice guy. And they won't have sex. And women are amazing because they actually have a bodily organ that is there strictly for pleasure. It can fire off an orgasm, once every 5 minutes. And even quicker than that, because in all reality, it can be boom, orgasm. Women can have this amazing ability where they can just be popping off, every minute or so. But then you have us guys, we pop off and it's going to be 20 minutes to an hour before we're ready to go again. So it's not that women don't like sex. Women love sex. They love good sex. And nice guys watching porn can't have sex. So how do you treat women? Here it is. If you want to know how you get laid more? Now, this isn't an instant thing. I'm going to let you know on this little trick. This is not instant. This is not something that is going to just happen overnight, but it will happen a lot faster than your mind wants to tell you. You want to get laid more. First off, lay off the porn. All right. Go as long as you can. Challenge yourself. See how long you can go without actually flogging the dolphin. I know you're going to come up with all the different thoughts and all the different excuses, all the different reasons as to why you've got to do it. I used to use the excuse of, well, men who don't have regular orgasms, they have an increased instance of prostate cancer. And yeah, that is true. But at the same time, when you have more meaningful sex, you actually bring the level of chances of prostate cancer even down more. Stop flogging the dolphin. Stop beating off. Stop masturbating. Stop choking the chicken. Stop burping the gherkin. However you want to phrase it. All right. Keep your hands off of your willy unless you're actually using it to pee. This is doing these two things. Those are going to be some of the hardest. And if you want some help getting off of porn, I've got a couple of guys I can point you to who will actually love to be able to make sure that you get off of the habit of the sex life killing habit of porn. One of those guys is Matt Sinkovitz. There's going to be a link to him in the show notes. He's somebody who is just on fire trying to make sure the guys stop with the masturbate with the porn, because it does do a lot of damage, especially to the young men these days. I mean, come on. I used to walk around. I was, I had a girlfriend whose friends used to call me Boner because we went to, what's the name of that, down San Antonio, Texas, Fiesta, Texas. And Fiesta, Texas has we were at Schlitterbahn. That's in New Braunfels. We'd gone to Fiesta, Texas, and Fiesta, Texas, I'm thinking, right, has a water park in it also. But we were at Schlitterbahn down in New Braunfels for band concert. And my girlfriend from Amarillo, their band had also come down for the same band trip. They were doing a band trip. Ours was doing a band trip, and we happened to meet at the same time in New Braunfels. And me being a teenage boy, I walked from one end of that park to the other, went up to the top, went down. That whole time, I had a stiffy, and her friends decided started making comments and started calling me, gave me the name of Boner. Just get your hands off your willy is essentially, because when you take porn, you take the element of masturbation out of the picture, your brain will start to develop more testosterone. More testosterone is going to cause you to start wanting to look at women a lot more. And yeah, you're going to find yourself, at first things are not going to work the way you expect them to work. Be okay with that. All right. You're having to rewire your brain. So while doing that, and you're going out, say if you're looking for women, and you meet someone, first off, if you're going out if you're wanting to go try to date women, first off, stop at the dating apps. Drop the damn dating apps. They ain't going to work for you. There are twice as many of you on those dating apps as there are women. All right. That's one reason why so many of you men drop off and stop trying to find a date, because you're not looking on the freaking apps. All right. Stop looking on them. Start actually going to places where quality women reside. All right. You're not going to find as many quality women at a bar. So stop looking at the bar. Start looking where you could find quality women at. Start volunteering in places where you think those quality women would be at. You have an idea. You have an ideal woman. Think of where she would end up being. All right. When you meet her and you start talking to her, yeah, you're going to struggle having conversations with her, but have those conversations. Keep it up, build it up. Be open, man. You don't have to be super uber cool. All right. It's not important for you to be super uber cool. All you need to do is just be yourself. Figure out who you are. Have that purpose. Work on those 4 pillars. While you're trying to keep your hands off your crotch area, start reading books on how to have deep, meaningful conversations. Start reading books on how to run a business. Start reading books on how to actually become wealthy. Start reading books on how to improve yourself. Start reading books, period. Nonfiction books. It doesn't have to be all that you read, but that needs to be a good portion of what you read. Self-help books, nonfiction books, read autobiographies, biographies, history books, read books about what interests you. All right. If you like model rocketry, read books about model rocketry. You want to read books about photography, read books about photography. If you want to read books about how to design good websites, read books about good websites. It doesn't matter what you're reading. Just get around to reading something. Work on yourself. Start getting out there. Go exercise. Go look at F3's website. You could probably find some guys who will exercise with you who are just as bad a shape as you are. And they're there just strictly for you. Get out there. Start doing exercises. And go to F3.com. I believe it's F3.com. F3nation.com is what it's called. So go to F3nation.com and find a guy. This is a free exercise group. All right. Just go and start working out. Get that body into shape. Work on your mind, work on your body. Find something that you're passionate about. Start developing the passion for that. Start learning, start growing, find a purpose. When you get that, start also developing connections with men, which sounds really weird. If you're wanting to start dating women, hang out with more men. It's bizarre, I know, but it works. The more masculine men you hang around with, the more masculine you become. The more masculine you become, the more women come out interested in seeing what you're doing. And this isn't well, I'm an alpha and you're a beta type of bullshit either. No, it's none of that. It is not that at all. It is you being you. And you embracing and stepping into the masculinity that society is telling you is bad. But yet, for whatever reason, even though society's going, yes, masculinity is horrible, it's terrible, it's destroying the world. For some reason, though, all the women seem to come towards the masculine men. They want those men who are strong, burly, and out taking action. And nice guys, that is one of the reasons why you're a nice guy, is because you do not have a regular injection of masculinity in your life. You want to learn how to become a real man. You become a real man by hanging out with other real men. So guys, I want to go ahead and close this up with just a couple more little key points. When you are out with your women and you're out dating the women, treat them nicely. Treat them with respect. Yes. You want to be able to be respectful to them. You don't want to kiss their ass, because no one is going to respect you when you're bending over kissing their ass. All right. But be respectful to them. Whipping your dick out saying, hey man, here's a picture of my dick. Well, congratulations. You're probably the 80th person who's shown them your dingling. They don't care. All right. If you ever really sit down and focus in on it and pay attention to it, dicks are not the prettiest aspect of a guy. All right. They're really actually ugly. You've got this ball sack that's just all wrinkled up and just kind of hangs there. And, erect or flaccid, a penis is just kind of there. It's not the prettiest thing. Yeah, we all are in love with our own dicks. All right. I understand that. Coming from a guy who loves his own dick. All right. I think it's God's gift to my wife. Now, my wife probably would laugh if she hears this. She's probably going to go, yeah, right. But, it's getting there though. But I don't know why I just tickled myself with that one. But anyhow, guys, it takes time. You have to be patient with it. You have to reprogram, especially you millennials and Gen Zers. If y'all and you're suffering from ED, it's going to take time for you to get out of your head. It's going to take time for you to rewire your brain so that you can see a naked woman standing in front of you and you get a raging hard on. All right. It's going to take that time. It's going to be a bit. And that's where getting some coaching comes into play. This is where getting coached to change your outlook on life really comes into play. If you don't want to have Matt Sinkowitz help you with your porn problem, you can come and you talk to me, because we both can get you past the porn problem. Like I said, it's not an addiction. An addiction is, calling it a porn addiction is crap. It's not actually an addiction. It's because you're not going to die without it. You're not going to have withdrawal symptoms without it. You just don't know how to act without it. And so it's a mind problem. It's a mindset issue, and it's a line of thinking problem. And I can help you get your mindset switched, change how you think of the world, change how you think of sex in general. to where it is absolutely amazing, and you're getting it a hell of a lot more. I've gotten more sex this year than I ever thought possible. But the guy 5 years ago would have ever thought possible, all because I have started changing who I am. I have started changing how I think of the situations with my wife, how I think of what's going on in the world, how I think, changing that and not letting my thoughts control my emotions is one of the key points. If you want help with that, let me know. And we can definitely get your world. We can rock your world. We can blow your hair back with some mind blowing transformations. So guys, with that, I want to say thank you very much for listening. Y'all have a great rest of the week. If anything on here just ring a bell, women, if you know a guy who could really stand to hear this show or hear this particular episode, your podcast app has a share button. Click that share button, send it as a text message, send it as a Facebook post, and just tell them, guys, you need to listen to this. Men, listen to this. Dudes, listen to this. Whoever, listen to this. And understand that what you're doing right now does not work. All right? Stop flashing your groin to every woman that walks by. One, it looks bad on you. Two, you're showing the worst part of yourself to a woman right off the bat. Bad move. Show them how respectable, how awesome you really are. And once you start doing that, she'll actually be more interested in seeing what you have down there. So guys, thanks for listening. Share this out. Share if you don't follow the show yet, like, share, and follow or subscribe to the show through your podcast app of choice, because we're going to change the hearts and minds of men each week. And I can't wait to have you along for the ride. So guys, till next week, y'all take care. Love you lots. Bye.